It's been a minute since we've done a money update, so let's talk about how things are going on my journey to my first 60K month. I think the most important thing that I can share on this journey is just the unexpected ways in which things have happened for me, the unexpected ways in which I've been guided, and the ways in which I feel like sometimes this ends up being the universe needs to teach you lessons that you need for the long term. During this journey back in February, the message I was getting consistently from the universe was the idea that you always need to choose the energy, that it's always going to be more important to focus on what you want, not what you don't want, like time and time again. And I felt so much in the last, like even specifically today, but in the last few days where I'm just going to feel into a thing and the energy that's kind of around it hasn't felt good, and therefore that's what's reflecting back. And I try to be really mindful about operating in a space of aligned energy from the smallest things. Like anytime I put out any piece of content, anytime I operate, like I am always aware of how it feels and the energy that's going into whatever it is that I'm pushing out into the world. But I think the thing that I'm having to do right now is like a two-part thing. Number one, I'm almost having to trip myself into the emotions. So before, where it might be like money loves me, like money moves freely into my bank account, like those were really kind of the thing that I would say consistently and I felt like kept me aligned. They just feel a little bit flat right now. But as I was journaling tonight, because I meant to post a piece of content and I just got to it and I thought, like, I don't feel like I don't have the energy that I want to push into this to share. Like it just feels like this is sluggish and I would rather take some time, journal, clear it before I do whatever. I was going into some of the stuff with money and I just realized like I need to start saying like I am so excited. Like I am so excited. Like I have to train my brain to click back to that emotion so we can associate it so that it feels good and it feels flowy and it feels fun again. Because I think when it gets to a place where things are just a lot and it's not happening as quickly as you want it to and you're feeling really overwhelmed and frustrated, you have to find a way to get back to that space of joy that you want to be in to attract it. And I would say it would be the mantra that I feel like has kind of come to me in the last 48 hours. Ego is the enemy of an empire. And this personally reflects for me as somebody who has been online for 7 years and has really spent a lot of time and explored a lot of different areas and has worked more, worked less, only had certain chunks of that that's really consistent. I sat down and I went through some of the numbers of just where things are in the last like 48 hours, like where the engagement numbers are, where things are looking. And I realized that there was space that I needed to clear. And I also needed to shift for some of the things that I want to be possible to even remotely be possible. But until I was willing to like show up to the space and be like, all right, guess what? This isn't working. And like, it's not working in a way where, to be specific, my engagement on Instagram is abysmal. And my mental health and my excitement about it over the last, 5 or 6 months has been very, very slim. So obviously my socials are going to reflect that. But I had this moment of just like, okay, like if I'm in the practical side of manifesting the money, in the practical side of doing all of this, whatever it might be for you, is there something that I need to be doing? Is there something I need to be changing? Is there something that I need to just be honest with myself about? 13,000 followers on Instagram, and I'm so grateful for all of those humans. And I think we all know that it's easier to want to follow somebody when they already have a number behind them because there feels like there's an authority to it. It's almost a bit more of a risk, or it feels a bit more like, I don't know if I want to follow you if you have a small number. And so my following still grows, but I think I've shifted as a person, I've changed as a person. And so to kind of take that like ego out of it and say, okay, I'm going to go in and I'm actually going to start a new account and I'm going to start fresh and I'm going to do it, but I'm also going to do it in aligned energy and I'm going to be everything that I wish that I knew when I started. The theme of the season for me is almost like reboot, but really having to choose the energy in the right way for that. So if you're kind of in that place right now where you're feeling stuck or you're just feeling underwhelmed by what's going on, or you've been kind of on this journey for a while, I would say trip yourself into the emotion. That is the thing that is working the most for me right now. I'm not relying on the truths or the facts or the whatever. I'm training my brain to associate it with whatever it is that I need it to be in order to kind of get in a line or to get an excitement going on about whatever the thing is. So I'm so excited to see all of the money in my bank account. I'm so excited to see the way that the universe is surprising me with money. I'm so excited to see this new community that I'm building. I'm so excited to see my followers increase. Train your mind to go back to that space of joy and create some new affirmations if you need them.